Hello and welcome to this edition of Please Note, and I'm privileged to be speaking with my friend and brother, the Bishop of Texas, the Right Reverend Andrew Doyle. Andrew, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, and thanks for the opportunity to visit with you a little bit today.
Now, Bishop, the Diocese of Texas has started something that's beginning to spread like a wildfire, and a good wildfire. And we're going to join with you on May 15th, Sharing Faith. What's that about?
Well, sharing faith is a way in which we in the Diocese of Texas invite our neighbors simply to come and be with us outside of the church in people's homes to share their story of faith, their journey with God. And this will be our third, I believe it's our third year in doing this. And every year new dioceses have come along. This year promises to be the largest yet, with a potential of over 5,000 people across the United States gathering in people's homes and sharing their journey with God, their pilgrimage with God. So on one night, all across the country, it's really exciting.
And the nice thing about it is you really designed this with we Episcopalians in mind. We are God-shy children. And you've designed it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I've tried to figure out a way in which Episcopalians could do a little bit of evangelism without thinking that's what they're doing. And I realized that one thing that Episcopalians love to do is they love to entertain, they love to have people to their homes, and they love to share the hospitality of good food at their dining room table. And this is just part of what we do. And of course, those are icons, aren't they, of God's sacrament, but kind of writ large in our lives. And we do this so well. So it really is designed as a way in which people can invite friends and neighbors to their dining room table and yet have a faith experience with others.
What have been some of the experiences of people who've done this? Because you've been doing this for 2 or 3 years now.
When we first started, we started internally. We didn't make it about inviting others. We felt like the first year we needed to do it ourselves. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that happened in the first year is that we had individuals come together for a common meal. And they didn't know whose home they were going to particularly, or who they'd be sitting with. And there was this one particular group that ended up being made up of 2 congregations from completely different sides of the theological spectrum. And they had a wonderful night together. They broke bread together. They shared the story of Jesus in their life, and they came away saying, I didn't know that about my brother and sister over here. And so the first year really was about us and about us coming together and being together. But in the successive years, it's been about bringing neighbors. And so I think there are stories about individuals who have had friends they wanted to invite to church, but they didn't feel comfortable in that invitation, so they invited them to their home. We had one couple that had a bunch of friends, ended up filling their home with friends that they knew who didn't go to church. They had a wonderful time just talking about God, because as you and I both know, people will talk about their spirituality. They'll talk about their conversation that they have with God. Something like 80% of Americans don't only believe in God, but will believe in talking to Him at least once or twice a week. And so this is a way in which we participate in something that's happening naturally outside of our church, and yet our people are enlivened by doing that, by the feeling of sharing their faith with others. But then their faith is impacted as they discover the truth is people outside of our churches aren't that different than us, and just hungering a little bit to see God at work and alive in our lives. So, just wonderful experiences all around.
Bishop, why does this matter? Why do it?
Well, I think it matters because it matters who your neighbor is. We believe in God's grace to us, God's love to us. As a friend of mine, Paul Zoll, says, God's one-way love, this idea that God chooses us. Curtis Almquist, in his Lenten meditation today, said, God, this love is about a choice, and it's God's choice for us. So we believe that, And so in believing that too, we believe there's this horizontal need to share that love with others and to receive that love from others, a reflection of what God's doing in our life. And so this matters because it happens in such a way as we have a new vision of that. Mm. You know, we sit with somebody who maybe we don't know. Maybe it's somebody in our own church. Maybe it's somebody who's a friend of ours. And we sit and we intentionally pull one of these cards and it says, tell a story about God's forgiveness or a time when you experienced forgiveness. You pull that card and all of a sudden a new world opens up and you get a new image and a new story and a new connection point with your relationship with God. So it matters because we're sharing with others what we have discovered. It matters because they share with us and our lives are impacted in that sharing.
There is a story to tell, and we have a story to tell. And you in the Diocese of Texas are helping us in North Carolina to tell that old story. Was the hymn say, I love to tell the story.
Old story. The old story. We're really glad to have you join us. And it's a moment of unity across the church that is totally separate from all of the other busyness of church. And it is, I know that May 15th is going to be a beautiful night for all of us.
Well, thank you for that gift, my brother.
Yeah, it's our pleasure, and we're glad to be joining our brothers and sisters in North Carolina.
We'll be with you on May 15th. God bless you, my friend.
Bless you too, and bless your people, and we'll be thinking about you and praying for your successes with sharing faith this year.
And back at you.